No, Ulrika is the head of impact and sustainable investment at Danske Bank, the largest bank in Denmark, the second largest bank in Scandinavia. And what we're discussing with Ulrika is the role of investors. You know, most of the time we're speaking about our work as companies, but there's always that side of investors that have some kind, I would say, sometimes more, sometimes less, sort of influence on the companies themselves. So Ulrika, from a point of view of an investor, how could we boost inclusive growth? In a way, it sometimes even could be contradictory. I mean, take employees, for instance. Company invests more in its employees, it might lower profit in a way. So an investor might say, I don't really care. I want to, you know, have as much profit as possible. So what would you say to that?
Good question. Thank you, Momo. And I think that from an investment perspective, and for us, as you mentioned, being a large bank, I think the 4 tribes mentioned goes very important directly to the core of a large bank in a society. So inclusive growth plays out for us as a bank, for us as a providing services and solutions and products for our customers. It plays out for us as an employer, and it plays out for us in society. So this is an opportunity and an obligation, naturally. So in a way, the same way goes then for us as an investor. And really it's sort of in the spirit of active asset management. When we manage assets on behalf of our clients, we integrate sustainability into the investment process and the decisions. There, of course, we look at companies that we invest in relation to their role in society as an employer, as business providers. So it kind of circles,
so it's very much
around.
So very much about long-term relationship that we're all aware of, and the role of investor as part of the community and not somebody who's just, you know, hoovering about trying to collect profit. You've mentioned the word active engagement as an investor. And this is, for anybody who is not that familiar with what we call ESG, environmental, social, governance, investment, active engagement means that I'm not saying this is kosher, this is unkosher. I mean, I'm taking my money out of companies that I feel that are not following corporate responsibility, but rather I invest almost in everyone, or at least without any saying that this one isn't kosher, but uses my influence as an investor to try and push that sort of company to do more, right? And that's the core, that's part of the core of your strategy at the moment, if I understand correctly, which is, by the way, rather brave for anybody who doesn't follow the international discourse on responsible investments.
Yes, I think it was mentioned in your previous discussion, the diversity of thought. Diversity of thought is also crucial for us as an investor, and being an active investor, focusing on the matters where we can have an impact, a positive contribution to society and a positive contribution to the companies that we invest in. So rather than taking a, let's say, black and white approach and saying, as you mentioned, this is good, this is not, we try to understand the different angles, the different perspectives, and we do not shy away from issues of concern, risk or problems, but we actually want to understand what is the issue, and we want to use our, you could say, power as shareholder or even bondholder to engage with companies in a constructive dialogue to move the needle or to create positive change.
And that's, you know, Israelis would immediately ask you, so, you know, do companies follow? Do they listen? Do you have any sticks in your bag that you can you know, pull in case they don't do what you ask them to do? It's very Israeli. I know it's a bit different in the Scandinavia, I would imagine, right?
I think for us as a large bank and for us as a large investor, companies do listen to us, and they are interested to hear our thought, and they are also interested in understanding what we wish to achieve with our investments.
Yeah.
So there is actually a mutual dialogue that takes place. So
it works. Fantastic.
It works, yeah.
So we can hear more about it actually right here when we come back from the break. So in the meantime, I would thank you, Ulrika. You will see Ulrika again for anybody who chooses the ESG session. And before,
why would you not choose that session?
You're absolutely
That's
right,
my question.
Ulrika. You are absolutely right. So thank you very much.
Thank you.